Greetings, Gemini. This is for all placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Okay, sometimes I get so weird, I even weird myself out. I laugh myself to sleep. It's my lullaby. I'd rather be anything but ordinary, please. Okay, so that's a song by Avril Lavigne. I was also hearing similar songs to what I was hearing, I think it was in Libra's reading. The Power song by Kanye, No One Man Should Have All That Power. Also, I'm leaving, never to come back again, found somebody who do it better than he or she can, or whatever gender you coincide with. Also, I was hearing the song, is it Switchfoot? I dare you to move, I dare you to move, I dare you to lift yourself up off the floor. So someone here could be really down and out. I'm not gonna lie, for Aquarius, the work and the occupation card flew out in the reverse. So for some of my Geminis, this card, so see the scythe there? That means things coming to an end. Now, things have to come to an end because there is a very hopeful, like big high honor meeting. God has basically ordained two people to have a successful, loving relationship. You guys could have met before, met in passing, met online, but it's like going to be hope for the whole world. Like, this is going to be a very hopeful union, Gemini, but you have to separate from a work situation or someplace or something. So I'm going to use the Bible to reference this as the metaphor. Joseph, his brothers, shysted him out and they sold him as a slave, and they were gonna him, but they didn't, and they were like, oh, we'll just sell him as a slave. And so they were betraying him, outright betraying him, and it was awful for years, this, that, and the third. But Joseph was really good at divination, and he divined through his dreams and through other faculties, and basically essentially worked his way up and became the Pharaoh of Egypt's right-hand man, and then like the best man in Egypt. And he foresaw that there was going to be 7 years of famine after 7 years of abundance. So it's only because of Joseph being exiled from his brothers, being betrayed by his brothers, being sold as a slave, going through all these years, that his gifts probably strengthened because God could trust Joseph with this knowledge. So for a lot of my Geminis, if you have been put through the test, put through the ringer, but you have remained faithful to something, then God is going to bless you. But you also are meant, you have a bigger work there. So, Joseph was separated from his family. He was exiled. He was pushed out, all these things. But in the end, he saved the world essentially because of it. And he had them stow away like a fifth every year of the crops so that he could, he was smart with it. So something here needs to be repositioned. So Gemini, I don't know, there's just some sort of connection here that there has to be separation. There's just no other way to put it. And literally it's so that this most loving connection can come forth. And Gemini, there's also something here about knowing that you are never a victim to a situation, even if people are horribly unfair. Joseph did not see himself as a victim, even though he was almost by his brothers, and then he was completely exiled, and then he was sold as a slave, and then all these things, and they put goat's blood on his robe to make it look like he was. And it's like people could really do one over 1,000,000 times, but again, they all only lived because Joseph had that was literally the journey that God put Joseph on. And he says in the Bible, God put me before you all because he saw what was to come with the 7 years of famine. And he knew, that I'd be responsible with that information and honest with that information. And there were multiple times when Joseph almost got out of being a slave. Like, he foretold the dreams of the cupbearer, but the cupbearer, whenever he got out of jail, he forgot about him. So you can, again, be like Joseph, where you're like, yeah, but Valerie, after this one betrayal, then there's another one, and then there's another one, and another one, and another one. Is that DJ Khaled? I don't know. But basically, this is just like getting Slugger. Now I'm hearing the took a Louisville Slugger to both headlights, slashed a hole in all 4 tires the next time before he cheats song. I'm hearing that song. That came through in my collective message. But yeah, so there's something with that. Okay, Gemini, also, you cannot actualize $1 million dream with minimum wage habits. So if you're still enjoying, that 6-pack of beers or whatever after work, or you're not exercising every day, or you don't have a meditation routine, you're not reading and educating yourself every day, you're not doing $1 million habits, then your $1 million dream is just, it's not that it's never going to happen, but God is holding it safe and a keepsake for you until you quit your minimum wage habits. So there's a Gemini here, and it's all things in due timing, but there's some minimum wage habits that need to be cut out And it seems like this connection or workplace is a part of it. Also, a lot of my Geminis need to dance more, prioritize dancing more, whether that's, when you're in the shower, you prioritize that you're going to play a playlist of like 15 minutes of dance music or something, or when you're getting ready in the morning, or, when you work out. I always dance when I work out. It's just, a lot of the times I do actually dance for my workout, but even when I'm like doing like sumo deadlifts and stuff, I'm always like dancing and grooving in between sets, like always. So you need to dance, you need to move it out. Also, some of my Geminis, this can be like ecstatic dance. Ecstatic dance can be coming up. That is like especially good for you. Also, what you water grows. I was watching this other sermon of this woman talking about, if you pick up an axe and you hit a tree 10 times every day in the same spot, just 10 times a day, that tree will eventually go down. Whereas someone here could be like, I need to chop this tree down and hack as much as they possibly could. And, maybe they get further than the other guy would in like a week, but then they get exhausted, they pull a shoulder muscle, something happens, and then they stop. They just stop chipping it down at the tree. Whereas the other person is like just 10 chips a day. So some of my Geminis, you can be going like too hard, go hard or go home. But at the same time, it's like, nah, it's not go hard or go home. Like you're going to go home if you go hard because you could injure something, or you can like burn something out, burnout, I'm hearing. Also, I watched the movie Gremlins this last weekend just because there's like a GIF from it, and I was like, what? I've never seen that movie. It was free with one of my accounts. So I watched it, and the Gremlins go through like little hatchling stages, and they're like really great at first, and they're really sweet, and then you put water on them, they breed, and then they like go into their next hatching stage. I don't know, basically they then become like monsters and start doing like really devious things. So some of my Geminis, you could have had like a kid or a child who's like really sweet at a certain age and then becomes a little more devious as they get older. They could need just more activity, like physical activity, or put them into like acting classes, improv classes, or have them play physical sports, or all the above. I don't know, something with trolls, gnomes, dwarves, gremlins. Oh my, bless you, Gemini.